Welcome to another Server Lab tutorial. My name is Shane Rainville. Today we're going to look at how to set the proxy settings for Ubuntu Bionic Beaver. We're first going to target the GNOME desktop. After that, we'll look at how to set the proxy from the terminal or command line if you're running a server instance instead. Let's get started. To configure the network proxy settings for GNOME desktop, we need to go to the network configuration screen for the particular interface we want to apply the proxy to. We can do that by going up into the right hand corner of our screen and selecting the network icon. Here we have a list of all our network connections. Ours are wired, you might have wireless. We want to expand the one that we want to configure the proxy for, and there we can go and we can click the settings for it. So here we have the network configuration screen. What you can see in the middle of it actually is the network proxy settings, and by default it's going to be off. If we want to enable it, click the little gear icon, and there's our three options. Right now it's disabled. We're just going to focus on manual for now, so click that. So now we have several protocols that we can set: HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. We also have something called ignore host, and we'll get to that after. For now, we're going to use the example proxy.server for our proxy server. We're going to use that example for all of our settings going forward, and the port is going to be 8080. Now, we're using the same proxy server for HTTP and HTTPS. You, in your environment, might have a different proxy server. You might also be using a different port. That's up to your network administrators. So let's make sure that using ignore host, that only traffic that should be going to the internet is going to go through the proxy. Anything local to us on our local LAN needs to not go on the proxy. So any host that's in our ignore list will not go to the proxy. Okay, our changes are going to be saved automatically. We don't need to do anything other than that, so let's exit out. So now we're going to look at configuring your proxy from a terminal or command line window. Let's open up a new terminal, and we have several options to do this. We can set a proxy for the entire system using /etc/environment, or we can use each individual user's .profile file in their home directory. In this example, we're going to start off with the etc/environment file. So let's open that up in your favorite text editor. Ours is going to be VI. You could use Nano, whatever you're most comfortable with. So within this file, we are going to export three environment variables: HTTP_proxy, HTTPS_proxy, and no_proxy. HTTP proxy is going to be for HTTP traffic, and again, we're using example.proxy.server, and we're giving it a port 8080. Now we're going to set HTTPS, same proxy server, same port. Yours might be different, keep that in mind. And finally, no proxy, because we definitely want to make sure only local traffic gets ignored. All public traffic goes to the proxy. I can't stress this point enough. So let's save our changes, exit the file, and these won't be applied until the next time you log in. We could force that by using the source command, which we'll show a little later. Right now, let's look at how we add those same proxy settings to an individual user's .profile file. So let's open up the .profile file for the particular user we are signed in as, and that's just going to be in our home directory. So @/.profile. We're opening it up in VI, use Nano, whatever you're more comfortable with. Again, we're going to put our environment variables at the bottom of the script. So the same thing as /etc/environment. We're going to export HTTPS_proxy, HTTPS_proxy, and no_proxy, same values as we used before. Now it's important to note that you don't need to do this for both the system and for the user. One or the other is fine. This, however, would override whatever was in your /etc/environment file, so keep that in mind if you actually needed a user to use a separate proxy for whatever reason. So let's save our changes, and we're going to exit the text editor. Great, so like we were saying before, these settings won't apply until your next logon. However, we can force that by using the source command. So using the source command, let's load that .profile file. And there you have it. And we can test to make sure that the variable is set by doing an echo. So it would be echo $HTTP_proxy. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful, make sure you like it. Also, if you want to keep notified of all the videos we're hoping to add, make sure you subscribe. And I hope this was a very helpful and informative video for you, and thank you for viewing.